How do we know when we're live here? How do we know when we're live here?
Good question. It's our first time, we don't know.
It's kind of spinning. How do I know if I'm live? All right, it says we're live. Hey, we hope we're live. Oh, wait, I think we go. I think we're here. We'll give it a minute or so for people to join.
That's right. A couple people maybe. Let's see.
Erin, can you see us? Yay. Okay. Can you hear us? All right.
Perfect. Welcome to our first Facebook Live.
Yep, I'm Jennifer. I'm the CEO here at Platinum Skincare, and this is Dora. She is the manager here, and you've probably spoken to her very many times over the phone or with email or our chats.
Very true.
She knows as much as I do, so we're going to just give it a minute or so for people to join, and then we'll start answering the questions.
Yeah, we've had questions that were sent to us, so we're going to go through those first. We have quite a few. And, oh, yeah, look. Sabrena says hi. Perfect.
Yeah, so we have quite a few questions to go over. We sent out our email, and everybody had an opportunity to send in questions beforehand. People that were at Peel University got notice, and all the people that joined our website got notice. So we have quite a few of those to answer. We'll start that in just a second. And then if we get any other questions coming in, then we'll answer those as well. And whatever we can't get done in about an hour, then we will just have another live session. So,
sounds good.
All right. I don't know if we can tell anything.
Should we get started?
Should we start? I know. We're live.
Okay. We're learning.
Sorry, we're talking to tech people here. All right. Okay. So, yeah, let's get started, Dora.
Okay, so I'm going to read the first question. It came from Jeannie. Jeannie has very dry skin. She found that she cannot prep with retinol because it makes her face even drier, especially around the mouth. Any suggestions? Her secondary question was, can I layer the Dream Peel or just the TCA peel? I'm going to do a TCA 1-layer peel, rinse, then apply the Dream Peel. Can I apply more than 1 layer of the Dream Peel? Lastly, do I rinse off the Dream Peel before going to bed? I'm going to do this before bed. Thanks.
All right, so dry skin, I mean, no matter what, when you do a peel, you're going to peel. So it's okay. You know, it doesn't matter if you have dry skin or not. But I'm going to say if you can't use retinol, even the mildest retinol, I mean, like retinol is great. We got some retinol here. Retinol is great if you can use it, even if you can dilute it or use it 1 time a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be every single day.
Right.
That's a great option. If you can't use retinol, like Dora can't use retinol.
Right. I'm very retinol sensitive, so I use it maybe 1 time every 3 days, and I mix it with something in the evening, like a moisturizer, Emu Oil, to kind of cut it in half. But definitely a glycolic cleanser would be helpful, glycolic serum. For sure, if you have the medium skin tone, olivey or darker, you definitely want to pre-treat with Fade Bright for 2 weeks. That is the most important pre-treatment for definitely TCA.
Yep. So all we want to do before you do a peel is we want your skin to be nice and even. We don't want a whole bunch of dead skin buildup, and that's where retinol helps, turns the skin over really quickly. The acids help to dissolve those bonds and get rid of the skin, so we have a nice clear base, and then we can do our peel and it'll turn out great. So now her next question, can you layer the Dream Peel or just the TCA peel? Well, yeah, we definitely have a video on that.
Yes.
And you apply the TCA peel and have as many layers as you're going to do, rinse that off, and then you put your Dream Peel on, and then you're going to leave that on for 6 to 8 hours. So it doesn't matter if you go to bed wearing it. That's why it's called the Dream Peel.
But only 1 time as a finishing layer.
Yep, 1 day. You're not going to apply it again tomorrow or anything like that. You're just going to put healing products, and that's it.
And keep in mind, you will not use luminosity if you are using Dream Peel as your finishing layer.
Oh, that's key, and that's a big question all the time too. People want to use Dream Peel, and then they're like, oh, well, I put luminosity on the next 2 days. We're like, no.
Your skin will be so sensitive.
Just one or the other.
Okay, all right, next. This one is from Marie. Marie has sensitive skin, she's prone to rosacea, and she is unsure what peel to use. I have redness, enlarged pores, and some brown spots. Please advise on how to proceed.
All right, well, with rosacea, we generally recommend the Mandelic Peel and the Mandelic 22%, even though this is 40, the 22% is the one that we recommend. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do something stronger every once in a while, but I mean, it's not going to help you in any way. It's not going to, you know, make your skin better. It could be a little bit more pink or something. And
right.
We really need to reduce inflammation. Mandelic is the safest.
Right, and if you have sensitive, go for the 22 for sure.
For sure, and for teens, preteens, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, and it will also help with the pigmentation as well.
Absolutely.
Fade bright as well. If you're not so, you know, apply it just to the dark areas only. I would definitely add that to your daily regimen for sure. Okay, so next one, Kathy says, I am a redhead with hazel eyes, but I tan. 1 to 3 on the Fitzpatrick's level. What peel should I choose?
Well, you're a redhead with light skin. You can pretty much do any peel you want.
Yeah.
That's the perfect skin. We don't have to worry about hyperpigmentation for the most part with you. I mean, so you just got to follow the peel that works best for what you're trying to fix. Like, we don't kind of mention here what you want to treat. You know, if it's hyperpigmentation, Mandelic, or Jesner, or acne, Jesner and salicylic, just general upkeep. You could do any of the glycolics, or if you really want to focus on anti-aging, I would choose TCA 13.
Sounds good to me. All right, our next is from Margaret. What if you're a combination of Fitzpatrick types? So maybe she's not sure exactly where she falls.
Well, I would say take a look at your heritage. If there are other people in your family that have olive skin tone or darker, which is like a 3, then I would probably prep with the Fade Bright just to make sure that you're not going to get any PIH. Because you could have light skin, but still get that hyperpigmenting like others do. And kind of take a look, like if you get a bug bite, does it turn brown or does it turn pink? Like if it turns brown and stays there for like weeks on end,
more prone.
Then you're going to be more prone to get PIH, so definitely prep for that. And if not, then you don't really need to worry too much.
Okay, this next name I do not know how to pronounce, so I'm going to spell it. Kgomotso. So, she just found out she's pregnant. Can I still use the TCA peel or should I use something else?
Something else?
Yes. Also, can't seem to find a zinc sunscreen. Is it safe to continue using a chemical sunscreen? Thank you so much.
You can use almost any of the peels except for salicylic and TCA. And there's salicylic in Jesner, so you can't use that one. You can use any of the hydroxy acids like glycolic, lactic, Mandelic. Those are all super, super safe, even when you're pregnant. I would still suggest talking to your doctor to see what they feel, but there aren't any too much that have problems with that. Retinol, you have some doctors that are okay with applying that, and some aren't, which is why we're talking about kind of dream peel here for a minute. Generally, we don't want to put this on because this is such a high percentage.
Correct.
But if it's a lower topical daily one, some doctors are actually okay with that. Now we carry, this is a zinc-based sunscreen that says zinc oxide 20%. All of the coats that we carry are zinc or titanium dioxide. So these are all safe, no chemicals. I would always try to stay away from the chemical sunscreens myself. They just soak into your skin, whereas the mineral sunscreens actually reflect the sun off. They're safer.
We do have a video on our website as well that specifically talks about products that are safe to use during pregnancy, so that would definitely be a must-watch for you. But congratulations on the new baby to come. Okay, so our next one is from Shanna. Shanna, I think that's pronounced. What peel would best get rid of or reduce appearance of a tummy tuck scar? What process, technique, regimen would you recommend for this?
TCA.
Yes.
Well, depending on your skin coloring, Shanna, I would say if you're more in the olive skin tone, prep with Fade Bright, use a TCA 20. If you are very light skinned, then I would use the TCA 30 once a month. And then I would also, every single day, use Super Cop 2X. You can put some Emu on that to help penetrate in there, because Emu Oil is also good for scars. It can help to soften and smooth them, but this is what's going to help that turn around TCA is going to break it down, and the copper is going to help regenerate new skin more quickly.
And be consistent.
Yes,
Scars
don't
will
just
be
think you can do it
yeah.
one time, and that scar is going to be a long process.
Yeah.
You know, 7 to 8 peels for sure.
Okay, so Rosemary asks, what is the best chemical peel for face and chest? What is the easiest to use?
Whatever you're putting on your face, you want to use on your neck and chest. So if you're doing Mandelic on your face, go ahead down on your neck and chest. If you're doing TCA, just take it all the way down. I know this is a body part. We want to put stronger percentages on there, but your neck and chest is very sensitive. It's very highly reactive, and you can just, everybody wants to do a 30 or something and you can't. We have a video on this as well.
Yes.
But definitely don't go any stronger than you would be prepared to do on your face.
Okay, perfect. All right, next question comes from Roseanne. She says, hello, can I apply Fade Bright at night first and then put my prescription tretinoin on right on top of it?
Yes.
Will it dilute the tretinoin strength? And will the tretinoin help to bring the Fade Bright deeper into the skin?
It's not necessarily going to push it deeper into the skin, but that is the correct. You always want to go thin to thick.
Yes.
Now, if Fade Bright were a cream, I would say to do your tretinoin first, only because I would usually say put your prescriptions on first. You know, let that soak in a couple minutes and then start putting your products on. But since Fade Bright is an alcohol base, it's almost like a toner. Like I consider that like a washing, toning Fade Bright. That always goes on first and then everything on top. Yeah, that's going to work perfectly.
Okay.
Do that every night.
Next question does not have a name, but they said they've been doing some lighter peels combined with micro needling, medical and cosmetic, so that's important. She's mature, normal to dry skin. I also have a small amount of scarring. I want to get rid of some normal box scars.
Okay. So, well, that's good. Combining the needling and the peels, you would obviously want to alternate those on different months.
Right. And if it's medical, definitely 4 weeks apart.
For sure. But those are all really good. And then I would suggest TCA for the boxcar, because boxcar is nothing more than several ice pick scars that happen to be really close together and they almost form a larger scar. So you can do the TCA cross with the TCA 30, and then again, Super Cop 2X. Use that, and it's a little bit of a time. It's a process.
Yeah.
But you should start to see changes after the first couple of cross treatments. So go for it.
Perfect. Okay, so Emme has 2 questions. Her first question is, what percentage alcohol is required to dilute stronger acid? Using distilled water to dilute salicylic and TCA resulted in long strands of crystals.
Right.
Second, what effect will occur by combining acids? We don't normally recommend combining the acids together.
No.
For example, the dilution of 15% salicylic by 50 glycolic.
Okay, so
what should I consider?
Number one, no, dilute your acids with some sort of bottled water, except for salicylic, of which you have to dilute with alcohol, preferably the highest percentage you can find, 90%, 91%, 99%. Otherwise, it's just going to foam up and become weird.
Now, she says her TCA resulted in long strands of crystals. Our 30 is recommended for dilution.
Yeah, and it's a water base.
Yes.
So that should go. Maybe she'd mix them both together
and then try
possibly,
diluting it.
because we're talking about mixing.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's not mix the acids, because if you take 15% salicylic, and 50% glycolic, you're going to end up with 7.5% salicylic and 25% glycolic. Why? Just do salicylic this week and glycolic next week.
I had a nice call yesterday where a customer had a similar question where they wanted to do a 15 salicylic followed by a 50 glycolic. We used to sell a kit called a biphasic peel. Certainly you could do that. I mean, make sure that your skin is acclimated to using the salicylic. Make sure that you're not having any reactions to that. Make sure you're not having any reactions to the glycolic. But if you're experienced with both of those, you could certainly combine those if you're further down the line.
Yeah. So did you say, I was drinking, did you say salicylic, then rinse it, and do the glycolic?
Salicylic first and then rinse. I didn't say rinse, but salicylic, then your glycolic for sure. Okay, so Stephanie Robbins says, what products to use for body peels? I bought the 70% AHA, which is glycolic. It doesn't work to get rid of sun damage. What can I use for a stronger peel? Maybe just not strong enough.
It might not be strong enough. Or how long are you leaving it on?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I mean, if you're only leaving it on 2 or 3 minutes, you might need to leave it on 10 minutes,
Correct.
15 minutes. Work your way up in time. Also make sure you're using good daily products like Triple Treat, 25% body lotion. That helps to get some of that build up of dead skin. So when you do put the acid on there, you're going to get a better peel. That's kind of like prepping for, you know, a body treatment. And if that's not enough, so we're trying to work on sun damage, I would suggest a Jesner instead. To be honest with you, Jesner, that's the combination of salicylic, lactic, and resorcinol. And resorcinol is actually a lightener, so that works really, really well to get rid of hyperpigmentation in the body. But no matter what, I mean, it's a long process. I mean, the sun damage that you have on you, you've been working on since you were a little kid, and it's very, very deep, and it's going to take time. But as long as you're going to put, you know, at least SPF 50 on every single day, protect it from the sun, and then continue doing a monthly peel, you will see big changes, and just keep going until you're happy.
I do recommend that Triple Treat body lotion post peel for body peels as well. It does help your skin start to peel a little quicker. The body can take up to 2 weeks to peel. I receive a lot of phone calls from customers that say, you know, I'm already, you know, 10, 12 days in, and my skin looks more wrinkled on my hands, but it's not peeling. Definitely the Triple Treat lotion helps things move along. It's a nice lotion to even use in between those peels. To keep
Every
the
day,
skin,
I use it every single day.
Absolutely. It's a huge seller, and we sell so much of it.
I would say the only time you can't use it, when you've done a peel, your skin can be a little bit sensitive for, I would say, that first week.
Right.
So don't use it then. Just use something else.
When you got that skin that's kind of hanging around and you're like, is this ever going to peel? That's when you can start with that Triple Treat.
For sure.
Okay, so Octavia is our next question. What advice do you have for TCA Body Peel 30 on bikini area and elbows?
Well, I think 30 is okay for the elbows, but I don't think I would put it on the bikini area. And I realize, you know, we're not necessarily talking inside the bikini. I'm thinking bikini area externally here. But I would definitely cut that down, maybe in half to a 15, and do, you know, 2 or 3 layers to be safe. Another good body peel would be, you know, for more sensitive areas, could be like the Lactic 50 peel. It's another good option.
You can use that one a little bit more often too than the TCA.
For sure. Oh yeah, the Lactic, you know, that's a weekly peel, but obviously the body turns over a little bit more slowly. I kind of tell people maybe once every 2 weeks. But if for some reason they start to feel excessively dry, we do like just stop and let your skin come off and then start again.
And keep in mind, anytime you're doing a TCA peel, whether it's face or body, pre-treating with Fade Bright, if you have that olive skin tone or darker, ethnic skin tone or darker, is very, very important. Doesn't matter if it's your face, body, pre-treating for 2 to 3 weeks is pretty much mandatory if you fall in that skin color.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so our next one is Ayanna, I think. Best peel for dark spots, best products for dark spots. Well, as we just talked about, Fade Bright's a must. 2
Fade
times
Bright.
a day. Dark areas only, you could
Fade
do that.
Bright, retinol at night.
Yes.
Vitamin C during the day.
Absolutely.
SPF 50. And then the peels, obviously Jesner is awesome for a deeper peel, Mandelic or Lactic 50 for a milder peel. And then SPF 50 or higher, and reapply it. You know, you can't just put it on in the morning and go out, you know, work in the garden all day and not reapply it. You're going to get color.
Okay, so moving along, Carla asks, do you plan to take your body line cruelty-free? Have always admired the personal interest you take in answering the consumers directly, and love you have the products themselves. I share my products experiences with them. One of the ladies asked me about using the Emu Oil afterwards, and honestly, I've never looked into the matter before. It was quite sad to listen to the experience of how to obtain the oil.
Right. So it's a question that everybody has to answer for themselves. For the most part, 99% of our products are cruelty-free. You can shop vegan. Once you go into the categories, you're looking at any category, click vegan, you'll see most of the products are there. There's a handful, 1 or 2 products. Of course, Emu Oil is one of them, as it does come from a bird, and it is a byproduct. So it's kind of along the same lines as if, let's say, cows had fat that could be used as a topical, it's the same thing. Emu are used for food source.
Right.
And the one thing that I really have spoken with the American Emu Association in depth about how the emus are treated, what kind of lives they have in the farm. This is not big farming like you're thinking of with the chickens and the cows and the pigs. That's just horrific. They live a really good life and are running around and having a good time. They can go in, they can come out, and they have a good life until they are used as a food source, and then this oil is a byproduct. And it's been used for thousands of years. It is one of those that, it does tug on my heartstrings, I guess we could say a little bit. We're going to carry it for now, but if you don't want to use that, we do have our Essential Healing Blend, which is the blend that we created with essential oils to mimic the healing and anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties that Emu oil has. So you can always do that, or shea butter is another really good one for
Absolutely. Okay, so the next question comes from DK. I'm doing a body peel on a pigmented scar. Every time I do the peel, it becomes more pigmented, then lessens eventually, and I use Retinol to continue fading it. Is this process normal? To have the pigmentation become more at first and then less as it peels with time. Should I keep up the process? It seems to be working, just not sure. Skin area is almost white compared to the other main melanated parts.
Well, you know what happens when you do a body peel? Like we said, it's so slow to turn over. It takes a couple of weeks. And many people will notice that the skin turns a brown color, and it'll stay that way for a couple of weeks until it comes off, and then boom, it's gone, then your skin looks normal again. And that doesn't happen for everybody. It didn't happen with me. My skin just turns almost like whiter because I have all this, white flaky skin, but a lot of people turn darker. So as long as this, the scar itself is getting better, then you're fine. And and add some Super Crop 2X in there. I mean, we don't even make this product, and I can't recommend it highly enough. We've carried it for every bit of 19 years.
Okay, so Lorna asks, could you please teach us how we can use the TCA peel to reduce surgical scars? I'm curious about how soon after surgery, as well as what strength. Also, I'm interested in if vitamin C is good to apply. Also interested in copper, which strength. She has many questions. LED light, basically anything you can add about surgical scars.
Well, what Dr. Picard has said is once the skin is healed, closed, then you can start doing treatments on it. So, I mean, that could be, a week or two.
Healed and sealed, nice and smooth, no red marks, no...
You don't want to be red or irritated or anything like that. Once everything is nice and sealed and you're good, like you wouldn't be scared to rub on it or, nothing's come apart. Once that's healed, closed, you can start with things like, I would say, topicals, like, the copper or Emu Oil or things like that. I would still probably wait at least a month or more before you start doing things like peels. I mean, that LED lights, I mean, that's not going to harm anything.
That's fine. You could do that.
Vitamin C is very lightening and brightening. It stimulates collagen, but I don't know if that's really going to be anything that's going to
just going to benefit more from the copper.
Yeah, copper is going to be your best.
And definitely, if you have very pale skin, you could do the TCA 30. Really try to isolate the TCA right to the surgical scar. Try not to get a lot on the surrounding skin. So isolate that as much as you can right to the surgical scar. If you have that medium or olive skin tone or darker, you'll go with TCA 20.
Yeah,
and of course, pre-treating with Fade Break.
You can use some Aquaphor or Vaseline if you're concerned at getting it on, and just put it on the areas you don't want, and then just take a Q-tip and dip it in, make sure it's not dripping, and just right on that scar. You don't have to peel everything.
Perfect. Okay, so Teri asks, I've used TCA peels, 13 on my face, and love them, but I'm wondering what is the best lightener for me to use more regularly, and also how often could I use, how long does it take before to do another TCA peel?
Well, I mean, this is just my personal favorite, but I like to alternate TCA and Mandelic. Mandelic is I love mandelic, probably because I have acne-prone skin. It's good for hyperpigmentation, of which I also have plenty of.
That's my peel of
So,
choice.
yeah, I love mandelic. It's got to be my favorite. Like, it depends on what you're dealing with, but I for sure like to alternate with this. If you're also dealing with acne or something, then I would choose like salicylic 15 instead.
We have seen some amazing before and after pictures of clients who have used Mandelic 40, on a long-term basis.
Just mandelic.
Just Mandelic 40. It's remarkable.
For sure.
Consistency is definitely key.
Oh, and how long do you have to wait? So this is a big rule, and we have a video on this. If you're doing a TCA peel, and the TCA, we like to do that probably about once a month. Okay, so you do your TCA peel, you have to wait a month before you can do another peel. And let's say you choose to do a mandelic peel at that time. Well, mandelic peels you can do on a weekly basis. So you basically only have to wait a week, goes by, and then you can decide, oh, do I want to do another mandelic or do I want to do a TCA? So basically the rule is you just have to follow the recommendations of the last acid you applied. If it says you have to wait a week, well, you have to wait a week. If it says you have to wait 4 weeks, then you have to wait 4 weeks. It's that simple.
All right. Next question is from Erin. Is there a pre-printed sheet of day and night regimens for products? I keep forgetting things to do. See, with peptides and stuff like that.
I've seen people, and I think this is actually a good idea. Like, they'll take their bottles and they'll use a little Sharpie and they'll write 1.
That's a good idea.
2.
Vitamins.
3, right? And you can just boom, 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 you know what to do. You could, do A for AM, P for P for PM. I kind of keep mine in the same drawer, but you could certainly just keep them in 2 separate places. I think you would probably lose the piece of paper, whatever we had to give you that was full of suggestions, but just kind of put them in order. Put them in order in your drawer or in your cupboard, AM on the top and PM on the bottom, something like that. You'll find something.
And the C in the morning, peptides at night.
Right. Yeah, copper at night.
Opposite ends of the day.
C during the day, always.
Okay, perfect. Oh, this is from another Jen. I ordered the 7% TCA peel to do a lip peel for my hyperpigmentation as well as the Fade Bright. How do I use it to ensure I prevent PIH on darker lips after healing? Do I put it exactly on my lip, around it, both, as well as an SPF? I want to make sure I am using it correctly. Also, how long should I use Fade Bright afterward?
Well, Fade Bright's a daily product, so you can use that every day no matter what. Now, okay, so you bought the TCA 7%. In our lip peel video, we recommend the Lactic 50%. But I have had a lot of people come to me, and I've said 7% TCA is fine. I wouldn't do many layers on your lips because your lips are thin. Yeah, 1 layer, maybe 2 layers.
Moisturizing after is a must.
Oh,
you don't want them to crack or anything.
No. Lots and lots of, even if it's Vaseline, if that's all you have. Our lip butter is great too.
Our platinum lip butter is really nice.
That's really moisturizing. And you're going to put it, just follow the video. Like, we should just link to a video and then I wish we could.
Peel along with Jennifer.
Yeah, like I just used a Q-tip, I dipped it in and then just like you were putting a lip balm on, we just don't want to get it in the wet portion. Keep it in the dry areas. Put it on, and then just wait your 5 minutes, rinse it off, and then, you could put Fade Right on right there if you wanted to, and then put something to hydrate, and then just keep it well hydrated for the next few days because it'll flake at some point.
And I would get a lip balm that contains the SPF.
Yeah, we've actually thought about carrying maybe a lip balm that has SPF. We're thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there are definitely some out there, and I would highly, highly suggest that.
Yes, agreed. Okay, so Mary asks, looks like several questions here. She says, hello.
That was one.
I am 38 and I would like to improve my skin texture. I have acne scars from my 20s. I am prescribed with 100 milligrams of spirulactone. Did I say that right?
Spironolactone.
There we go. That was a big one. A day, plus a topical clindamycin in the morning and Epiduo in the PM. I have been doing the TCA 13 peels bi-monthly for about a year and have worked up to 4 layers without too much peeling. What do you recommend as the best AM and PM regimen to complement what I'm already doing?
Well, we're talking about acne here, so I would just put you on the same exact thing that I do. I use AB cleanser plus B complex in the morning, and then at night I use AB cleanser plus B complex plus retinol. Now you have Epiduo. Doesn't that have a retinoid in it?
It's a combination.
Yeah, so you don't need that. You could add in the AB cleanser and the vitamin B, because the vitamin B is just so good at keeping your acne under control. I know the spironolactone is going to help with that as well. So you must have it pretty bad here, like you're on both of those.
Yeah, some cystic stuff must be happening.
And you could also try doing some peels. Well, let's see, you're doing the TCA 13, but I mean like something more often. Either salicylic 15, a little, so you can like, clean your pores out a little bit more regularly than, once a month or so. Jesner, yeah, that's another stronger one. Jesner's really, really, really good for acne, and it has salicylic in it, and it has lactic, and it has restorcinol, so it'll help with any kind of hyperpigmentation.
Her last question is a supplement question. She says, blah, 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 where is it? Also, are there any supplements that you think really make a difference in skin, collagen, etc.?
Well, hyaluronic for sure, and you could take a hyaluronic acid supplement. And then, yeah, collagen. I have a collagen, it's like a powder that I put in my drink every morning. Yep, I put that in mine every morning. I think that is super beneficial. There's another one, I can't remember, it's fern something. Fern something that is really, really, really good for anti-aging in your skin. I would just do some research on that. But yeah, and then for the scars, I forgot, she had the scars too. I mean, I would take a look at the cross for that, do the TCA 30 cross and then start using the little dab of Super Cop 2X at night.
Great video on that as well on the website.
Yep.
Okay, so the next question is from Ramani. Her first question is, after how long can I do a facial treatment after a chemical peel? That's her first question.
Do like a regular facial?
Yes, like after
a week? Yeah. As soon as your skin is done flaking, then you can do it. I mean, we used to, when we had the spa, we would do chemical peel and then like a microdermabrasion maybe 7 to 10 days later in case there's any little bits left on there. So you could certainly do a regular facial a week after.
For sure. All right, she says, how many days before a wedding should I do peeling like lactic acid or glycolic?
Well, I would say, number one, make sure you've used the acid before.
Exactly.
So you don't have any kind of bad outcome, and you find out you have an allergy to lactic or something along those lines. But if you've done that, before, and you're good with that acid, I'm gonna probably say about 10 days. I wouldn't want to cut it too close. I mean, I would want to be like all done.
Yeah.
What does she ask? Did she ask about turmeric?
Oh yeah. She says, can I apply turmeric on my face 4 days after peeling?
That I don't know.
That I don't know either.
Sounds like an Indian type method, maybe, and I think it's good for maybe brightening.
Anti-inflammatory, I think, isn't turmeric anti-inflammatory?
I believe so. I'm sure there's lots of good benefits for that.
That will have to
as long as it's not irritating you, it's okay.
Correct. Okay, next one comes from Karen. Karen is 59 years old. Unfortunately, she never took care of her skin, she says. I have had 2 peels from an esthetician. First one did great. I could see the difference. The second didn't even peel and didn't do anything. Over $100 each, and I cannot afford to go back. I want to do it myself, but I am not sure what to do first. I did watch the Peel University. I am either a second skin type or third. I have large pores on my nose, scarring from acne in my youth, and brown spots along with fine lines, uneven skin tone, and color. Also rosacea on my cheeks and forehead. What to do first?
Okay, at first I was thinking
rosacea,
and now that kind of changed my mind. Now we've got to try something like the Mandelic 22.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it every single week, it's going to be, they're all cumulative benefits. When we say you have to do a series, that's 6 to 8 peels in a row. So you can't even judge after that first peel.
Right.
Do 8 peels and then you can judge. And the beauty with hydroxy acids, you just keep leaving them on a longer time. So you start off with maybe 5 minutes, and then you can leave it on 10 minutes if you want, 15 minutes. I know of people that leave it on overnight after many months of
the benefits of the collagen stimulating are weeks beyond when you're doing the peel. So as you're doing it in that series of 8 weeks, you're constantly stimulating that collagen on an ongoing basis. So
I would still recommend, when you're talking about large pores and scarring and things, you still might want to try something like a TCA cross in those scars to help those out.
You can even do maybe 15 salicylic on the nose because she says the rosacea's on her cheeks and forehead. She could
Yeah.
kind of buy, we sell the little baby samples of
Yep.
the acids as well, so if you're in the testing market or unsure, that's an amazing way to go. You can buy the 5 ml size,
Yep.
so she could, maybe try one of each and then,
For sure.
do it that way. Okay, moving along. Okay, so now we have Marni. How soon can a TCA peel be done after or before microneedling? How much time is needed in between both procedures? Will there be a link emailed of the live video afterwards to replay it? I'm pretty sure
Yes.
that they'll be able to
Yes.
replay it.
Most
Yes,
definitely.
they're telling us yes.
Yeah. And well, I would suggest at least a month in between. I don't know what kind of microneedling, if it's, being done in a spa, if you're doing it at home, needles are in various lengths. The thing is when you do one of these treatments, you're purposefully damaging your skin to force it to regenerate. And then you're getting all these benefits, new collagen, new elastin, new skin coming up. If that process is still going and is still building collagen and you start hitting it with something else, you're just slowing down the whole process. I mean, it's really, really important to wait time in between these treatments. I mean, 4 weeks, that's probably minimum.
Right.
Really, I mean, I've heard of like 5-6 weeks or so for collagen to effectively form. So, especially with needling treatments that go deeper, but for sure, bare minimum a month in between those.
Okay, so Heather asks a product question. She says, is it normal for the high octane vitamin C to be a thick gel-like consistency?
It varies. It varies. There's no water in there, so there's nothing to keep it super thin. It can be jellier the longer it
kind of
sits.
gets, yes, exactly.
But no matter what, like when you take some, even if it is kind of jelly, it's still gonna like just blend right in perfectly fine. It just looks a little gelatinous.
And
sitting
less is
there.
more. You don't need a lot of the vitamin
my
C.
gosh.
Just a small amount. I recommend mixing it with your moisturizer in the morning, your hyaluronic acid,
Hyaluronic.
something like that. That's what I always do, and I never have any issues
Just the
with that.
tiniest. I'm
Yep.
talking like half a pea size. If you put too much on, it's got that super smooth
Yeah.
slick consistency, and that's not gonna mix well with other products if you're too aggressive.
Right. Agreed. Okay, so Sula asks, my question is for peeling. I am doing the weekly Mandelic 40, and I will start my Jesner very soon. What tips I should consider, and should I wait 4 weeks between those two peels? So the two peels are Mandelic and Jesner, so she only has to wait 1 week after a Mandelic. But if she's doing a Jesner, then she'll have to wait the 4 weeks after.
Right. Yeah.
I did watch the peel videos, but looking for some advice and tips on that and what to use right after the Jesner peel.
Well, Jesner, we like you to leave that on. This is my Jesner. We like you to leave it on for a few hours. And that's because we kind of followed Dr. Fulton. He was a very famous acne doctor. He actually had a hand in inventing Retinol. He suggests to get the very best that you can from Jesner to leave it on a good 4 hours. Some people like to leave it on longer, overnight. We recommend for sure 4 hours. So just leave it on at least that long. That's a good tip. Don't just rinse it off right away. I mean, if it's burning so badly and it's just too much for you, of course, go ahead and rinse it off. But to get the best from it, leave it on. That's a very good tip.
After the Jesner, she's definitely going to want to use Luminosity.
Yes, luminosity. You could potentially do Dream Peel too.
Yeah, you could use Dream Peel as a finishing layer, but keep in mind when you're using that as a finishing layer, you won't need to use the luminosity. If you're using luminosity on its own, then you'll use that the day of your peel, and then 1 time a day for 3 to 5 days, up until the day your skin starts to peel or flake.
I just want you to know that if you hear sounds, we're at work. This is a work day, and we're escaping upstairs.
Right.
So you may hear phones ringing and
Things happening.
moving around and boxes dropping and people talking. It's just a normal day here.
That's right. Our little escape from the hustle and bustle down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving along, Lynette asks, my skin has almost a cottage cheese-like texture. What would help?
Are you talking about
body? You mean body? Triple Treat Lotion? Or
Was she talking body or she
doesn't
talking
indicate.
face? Okay, we're not quite sure because I was thinking if your skin and your face is cottage, are we talking about like that you have scarring that we're dealing with, like rolling scars or a combination of rolling and pitted scars, or are you just like seeing too many large pores, things like? Because if that's the case, retinol. You want to use retinol. And if you're talking about like on the body, I mean, nothing can, you know, get rid of cellulite. She didn't mention cellulite though. I'm just thinking that.
She says cottage cheese like texture.
It's bumpy. Maybe it's just like fine little bumps. And you know, retinol is super smoothing. TCA is super smoothing. And then try some good exfoliation for a little while. That should help.
Dream Peel, I love the Dream Peel.
Or send us a photo. You know?
That's helpful.
You know, email support@platinumskincare.com and send us a photo, and we can actually help you a little bit more with that.
Absolutely. Okay, so Sarah says, what is your experience with stopping lightening creams and melasma? Wait, what is your experience with stopping lightening creams after melasma has improved? Yeah.
Oh, melasma. I have melasma very badly, and that is something that you never want to stop treating.
You have to continue to treat that.
And if you don't want to use it every single day, I mean, at least use your lightener at least 2, maybe 3 times a week, because once you let up on it, once you go in the sun one time without sunblock, it's back and it's a problem.
Vitamin C will help too to combat it.
Vitamin C works really well. I remember when nothing was working on mine and I used vitamin C, and it was definitely a lot less that year.
It was a game changer for you, I think, when you were going to Florida and such.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you're in the sun, unfortunately, it's bad.
Okay, so Nancy says, when you do cross method to a specific area, do you still apply that area again when you are doing a regular, say, TCA 13? So I think she wants to do a cross method and all over TCA 13 peel.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, if you're only doing TCA 13, I usually say to do the cross first, and then you can go ahead and do your other peels. But I've talked to a lot of people recently that they're past the 13 and they're on to like a 20. And I don't feel comfortable with somebody doing the 30 and then adding 3-4 layers of a 20 on top of that. So what I've been kind of telling people to do is do your full face peel first. You know, get all your layers done, and then do your cross on top of that. And then I think that's gonna work really well for people, and it won't be super irritating, because like you're poking that in. It's not like you're just putting the acid on there. You mean you're pinching in your skin. You don't want to draw blood, but you really, it's a combination. Cross is really a combination of needling and a skin peel. So like we're not trying to draw blood, but we are definitely trying to push that in there so hard that we're like pinching and almost like breaking down the scar tissue a little bit. So, I mean, that could be excessively irritating if you did it the opposite way.
All right. So our next question comes from Khadijah, I believe that's how that's pronounced. Khadijah has light medium skin tone, Asian, and she asked how to get rid of hyperpigmentation spots, dark spots around the mouth and nose area after doing a TCA peel, 20%. So we might be dealing with some PIH.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if that's PIH, the Asian skin tone is just so prone to getting that. I mean, you need to start using Fade Bright every single day, SPF 50 every single day, retinol every single night. Keep that skin constantly turning over and protect it. And if for some reason you're stating that you are only getting that like for a little while, like how we were talking earlier, when you put a peel on skin that naturally has some pigment to it, it will turn darker, and then it'll stay dark for maybe, you know, a week until it exfoliates off, and then it's looking normal again. So I mean, if that's what's happening, that's perfectly normal. If you've done the peel, it's peeled off, and you're left with that, that's called PIH, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And you need to target that with Fade Bright every day. And if you are getting PIH, I wouldn't recommend doing that TCA 20 again. No, I would switch to Jesner or Mandelic or something that's going to give your skin less inflammation, because it's the inflammation that's causing that. You need something a little bit gentler.
Okay, moving on. Lori asks, what are the best peels to minimize my smoker lines and saggy jowls?
Well,
smoker lines would be...
Smoker lines, oh yeah, I brought our little, we got our cute new bags here. So here's our lip peel kit, see with the lips. And this has the TCA 20 in there, it has the Stin TC in there.
And luminosity.
And that's something that you can do once a month that will really help around the smoker's lines. Like you'll see something after probably the first 1 or 2 times you've done it. Now for these, you know,
Crepey Skin Escape. lower part of the face and neck.
You can definitely work topically.
One time a day.
Yeah, you can work topically on things like that. But I'm talking like if it's like underlying muscle coming down, none of these are going to help. But if it's not underlying muscle and it's just a little bit of loose skin or something, TCA, Crepey Skin Escape by Dr. Picard. It's that big jar. Yeah, those will all help.
Okay, so Faye asks, can I use over-the-counter cortisone cream for post-peel as one of my healers? What about Neosporin?
Generally not. I mean, generally you don't need to put those on. The only time you need to put something like hydrocortisone on in only 1%, not the 10%, is if you have an irritation, if you have a rash, or you're like itching intensely. We don't want you like scratching at your skin. You can put 1% hydrocortisone on there to calm your skin. But that's not something, you don't want to put those extra things on there that you don't need. Neosporin, you don't need anything antibacterial at the time. There's no bacteria happening. You just want to keep it moisturized. So Emu Oil Essential Healing Blend.
Over the counter, they could do Aquaphor maybe?
I was going to say Aquaphor. That's another. But don't put it on really thick because Aquaphor is an occlusive. You want your skin to breathe. So use a tiny little bit, rub it in your hands, and just like lightly on there. And then what
she's asking if she can numb the skin prior to the
Absolutely, you can numb. It's not going to change anything. Go ahead, follow whatever numbing cream you have, follow the directions there. Sometimes it goes on clean skin, sometimes it does not go on clean skin. Read that. Leave it on for most of them are like 30 to 45 minutes till it's sufficiently numb, and then wipe it off, wash your face 2 times, strip your skin like you're doing a normal peel, and you'll be good. And it will help. I'm not going to say it's going to last the whole peel though, because I tried that in one of the peels and it worked at first, and then it was gone.
She had one more question too.
Yeah.
She said she has the TCA 13. Could she use that, as a cross peel?
You could just apply it several times. And I suggest poking in there really good the first time, but if you're going to like reapply it again, then I would just get it wet and then just make sure you get it inside that hole again. Wait your 5 minutes, go re-dip, make sure it's not dripping, get it in there again. You're just layering as this, in one single spot. It's okay.
Okay, I am not sure how to pronounce this name as well. Prabhjot. She says, yes. Hi Jen, I'm going to start the whole anti-aging products. I bought the kit from Platinum Skincare along with Faith Bright and anti-aging cleanser and toner. So basically everything from Platinum Skincare except first generation copper peptides that I bought elsewhere. I am aware that should not use first generation with vitamin C and some acids. So if I want to use the copper peptide in my morning routine, is there any Platinum Skincare product that I should not use?
Well, number one, just follow Dr. Picard's rule on this. It'll just make your life so much easier. Use your copper at night and use your vitamin C during the day. And that's fine. But vitamin C is going to protect you more during the day, and copper is going to work all night long. And with first generation, what was it about first? All the P's?
So yeah, she says
first generation is GHK. So GHK is more fragile. Like GHK, here's the GHK accelerant. The only things that you can't put GHK on, you definitely can't put it on with acids, which means you cannot put it on if you're putting on Retinol or like serum 15 or something like that.
Right.
That's the only time you would have to put this on at a different time of day, maybe daytime. And if that's the case and you're using this and vitamin C and an acid, I would switch to second generation instead. I would start using the CP serum or super CP serum because those can go on with acids without a problem.
Okay, so Tracy Jane has a couple of questions here. I'm not sure if these are duplicates. My décolletage seems to react to TCA peels, Dream Peel, and Jesner. Would like to treat aging and pigmentation.
Those are all strong peels, and like we said earlier, this is a sensitive area. You might be better off either just using things like retinol on a daily basis or using a milder peel like a mandelic peel or a glycolic, glycolic 30 or something like that. Just because you can put it on your face comfortably doesn't mean you can put it on your neck and your chest. They are reactive. You either cut it in half, dilute it down, try to use maybe a 7% TCA if you want to get, the collagen and elastin benefits. But yeah, I can understand where those would be irritating.
She has 2 questions that are very similar. Same lady, Tracy Jane. She said she's done 6 peels on her face with TCA 13. 6 peels on her legs and arms with TCA 20, her age spots seem to be getting worse. Sunscreen is super important. Let's see.
Well, how long is she's done?
She doesn't say if she's pre-treating with Babe Bright either, so I'm not quite sure.
Well, here's the thing, there's one or two things, okay? If you're doing a peel, you're taking the dead skin off, now you've got this baby sensitive skin. If you go out into the sun or something like that, you're gonna get more sun damage, you're gonna get burned, and that's gonna cause more. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think if you're doing all these peels, you're probably using your SPF properly. So what could potentially be happening is like I said earlier, you have pigmentation on your body. This damage has been here for years, years and years, and you've got layers and layers and layers and layers of new damage down there. And as you're doing a peel and taking the top surface off, now you've got layers below that are coming up, and they might have new different spots. I would just keep it up. Use the Jesner, use Fade Bright every day, and it will change. And take photos. I can't stress it enough. Some of those marks that are going away, you don't always notice that, until you're looking at a side-by-side photo.
Okay, Faye asks, what are the parameters for combining a good peel with when, and how far, if need to get some facial, I think she's getting some
threads, some threading.
Some threading, like a
well, I would do the peel and either be healed from that peel 100% before you get any kind of injections. You can potentially, people ask all the time, I see a Botox one. Never mind, maybe we'll just save that one.
Yeah, that one's double down.
But I would make sure I'm healed from the peel before I had facial threads put in there.
For sure. And then make sure you're healed from those threads before you do another peel.
Yes, let any inflammation go down.
Check with your doctor, that's the most important.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brooke asks, I'm loving my platinum skincare products. I am wanting to go to the dermatologist to update my care plan, prescriptions, etc., and get checked before I get too far into my bottle of
growth factor,
epidermal growth factor. Besides bringing all of my bottles and stuff into the office to share your products, is what I'm using. Is there any info sheet or list of products, I guess,
to take with?
I would just jot everything down and take it with you, right?
I would
take a pic.
There you go.
Line your products up on your bathroom counter and take a quick pic.
Take a picture and then just let them know that, hey, we sell to dermatologists and we sell to spas and things.
Absolutely.
So the products that we have are nice and potent, and they're going to do a really good job, and I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Sure. Okay, here's your Botox question. Marisa asks, how long do I have to wait before or after TCA or Jesner peel to do Botox?
So, we used to run a medical spa. You could actually get a peel done today and Botox done today. You would do the peel first and Botox. But you certainly wouldn't want to get Botox and then do a peel, because now you've got, injections.
Yeah.
So, obviously, if I were to do a peel, and I would wait till that skin was all peeled off, or at least the majority all peeled off, before I went and got any kind of Botox injections. Or if you got your Botox injections already, I would probably wait at least 5 days, because sometimes it can bruise, and if your body is busy healing something else, like a bruise, it can't focus on your skin and heal your skin properly if you're doing a peel. So make sure your skin is 100% healed, healthy, before you do something else. Oh gosh, it's been almost an hour. See, we're gonna see. I think we can maybe get through all these. We're almost done with these questions.
There's a few in the comments.
Oh, is there? Okay. Should I
keep going?
Okay,
keep going.
Jill asks, I have oily, extremely sensitive skin. I use AB cleanser, basics toner, and B complex daily. At 55, I would like to add more anti-aging products to my regimen, but everything makes me break out or cause my eyes to burn. I've tried over the last 3 years GABA Elite, Retinol 20, Sin TC with epidermal growth factor, nano hyaluronic, high octane vitamin C platinumized Eyelift Express. I have not tried peels.
Are you saying you had a problem with the serums? Because usually, even if you're, sensitive,
she has to get through that purge.
It shouldn't cause you to break out. I would maybe, since you have extremely sensitive skin, I would skip on the toner. I would just do AB cleanser or B
Yeah.
complex in the morning. If you put a lot of makeup on or something and you need to make sure to get that off, then maybe use that toner one time at night. The like whatever retinol you're using, make sure you're using the 0.20. What I would say to cut that down a little bit is I would do a squirt of 0.20 in my hand. I would do a squirt of vitamin B in my hand at the same time. Then mix those together, so you've just kind of diluted the retinol a little bit. Then you can put that on, because the vitamin B is going to help your skin from breaking out.
Yeah, I would switch the GABA to vitamin B.
Yeah, I wouldn't even use the GABA. And I know that you want the anti-aging, so if you want the anti-aging, do what I do, stick with the serums, like where you have Synti C. I love the 2-potion mix with the Synti C and the citrus stem, because that's Synti C is about collagen and citrus stem is elasticity. So just add a tiny bit of that. Don't be adding like 3-4 pumps or something. One pump, mix it together, put it on, and that should be fine. So I'm highly, acne prone too. And then if you're still at the beginning, it's a good 5-week cycle to get your acne cleared. So don't judge anything until you get past that stage. And you might need to throw in a salicylic peel or a mandelic peel to get that out if you're constantly breaking out. I know you have sensitive skin, but every once in a while, maybe, and if you just throw a peel in there like once every 2 weeks, that would really help to speed it along.
Okay, so Angela asks, presently doing mandelic peel. I did one so far. Do I stop Retin-A as I do my weekly peels? Stop on the weekly ones.
Yeah, because for the most part, the weekly ones are so mild that you could use your Retin-A probably up till the day before you do your peel. If for some reason you are more sensitive, stop a couple days before, 2-3 days. I don't think you need to stop a week before or anything like that. I mean, even if you're doing a TCA peel, few days is generally enough.
Okay, so Jill asks, I don't understand the science behind the removal of stubborn brown spots. After each peel, does the
melanocyte,
there we go, move up in the layer of the skin, or does it stay in the same place? If so, how would a peel ever reach that lower level? Well, the peel only removes.
Yeah, the peel is going to remove the top layers of skin, and that skin is already pigmented. I mean, as you apply, that's going to come off. The lower skin is going to come up. I mean, there's melanocytes in your whole skin. None of that is changing. We all have that, unless you're albino. But that's I wouldn't even worry about that. Just continue with the peels, and then after a while, it will all come off.
Excellent. Okay, so we got 3 more here, and then we'll switch over and see if we can get a couple that came in during the live. Patty asks, which is stronger, Jesner or TCA 20? I did 1 layer of each. For my next peel, should I skip the Jesners and just do 2 passes of the 20, or do Jesners with just do the Jesners with 2 passes of the 20?
I think that just depends on what you're trying to treat. If you're dealing with hyperpigmentation, then keep that Jesner in there. That's key for getting rid of hyperpigmentation. If your focus is anti-aging and you don't have any hyperpigmentation, then go ahead and just do the TCA or the TCA plus the Dream Peel.
Yeah, she said she also did the Dream Peel as well.
Yeah.
So she has all the goods.
Yeah, and you can do all 3. So when there are some people that like to throw the Jesner in with the TCA peel, and what it does is the Jesner is used, in office all the time. It's more of like a prep for the TCA, so the TCA works better. That's how they do it. So you can use it like that if you're trying to strengthen your TCA and get a deeper TCA peel, or I always tell people to use it if they're dealing with hyperpigmentation. So either or, really, it just depends on what your biggest issue is, and alternate.
Sounds good. All right, Linda has a 15-year-old who is currently using Proactive. I would like her to start with Platinum Skincare AB Cleanser with the AB Toner. Should I take a rest period in between the 2 products?
So now I have a thought here, though. I don't know if you've purchased these yet. I would normally say AB Cleanser. If you need a toner, I would usually choose the Purify Toner instead. AB Toner is great, but it is really, really strong, and it's going to burn, and she's 15, and she's not going to be happy with that.
Moisturize.
So get AB Cleanser. The most important things are AB Cleanser plus vitamin B 2 times per day. And then at night, retinol 0.10 works great. I have a 15-year-old, and this is exactly what I have her use. It's what I use. It really works.
Okay, so Gwen says, can I use TCA 13 on my neck? How about my abs to remove stretch marks, hands? Can I space them 3 weeks apart? This is my 3rd month. First month I did 2 layers, second month 2 layers because I saw some frosting. I want to do 3 to 4 layers. This is the 3rd time. What is the Jesner peel and should I add it to the mix?
So yes, you can use it on your neck. Whatever you use on your face, you can use on your neck and even your chest. Spacing them 3 weeks apart, you know, it depends on how many layers you have on there. So yeah, if you only had the 2 layers, I think 3 weeks is fine. I usually like to just say a month because it's easier that way.
And she's also adding the dream peel as a finishing layer.
And you're adding the dream peel. Yeah, once a month is good.
Yes.
So Jesner, you know, you don't have to add Jesner, and if you're frosting at 2 layers of the 13, you really don't need to add any more acids in there. Next time, if you can try to do 3 layers, but if you're like, okay, if you've got a little baby, couple little spots here and there of frosting, that's nothing to worry about. You can put another layer on. If you are dealing with like your face turns white mostly, or you got huge white patches, then yes, stop. I think we have a couple more questions.
Let's see.
Hi, Jackie.
Okay, so she says, I love the retinol you guys have. I started with the 10 and worked up to the 30. That's amazing. I've worked here for 17 years and I've never moved past the 20. I am sensitive to retinol, but you know, some clients start right off with the 30.
I use the 20 for the most part, but sometimes I use the 30.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mix it with my vitamin B, so it's diluted.
All right, Marcia loves her TCA 20. Thanks for that, Marcia. Oh, sorry, TCA 30, she said. Let's see, Linnell, thanks for having this live. Please make this a regular thing.
We're
gonna try.
Keep asking questions and we'll be here to answer.
That's right.
And we're going to turn them into videos and stuff too, so you can, you know, just like you're asking a question here, we can have like a video with that question so you'll easily find your answers.
Okay, so
they're not just yours.
Says, when can I use a high frequency wand after a peel?
You know, high frequency, I don't know.
High frequency is different than the LED because a lot of people are using.
That's the one with it's like a light,
yes,
and then it does the zapping.
Yes,
I would still think that would be irritating immediately after a peel. I would probably wait like at least 5-6 days.
Agreed. Let's see.
It's to zap little pimples. It's to do a couple of different things.
Okay, so I am not sure how to pronounce this name. ZHAQUA.
There
we go. I've been using Supercap 2X for my pitted old chickenpox scars, and I am seeing. I think she means
results.
I am seeing any results.
I think so. Is there something else I need to do, or we don't know if she's seeing results or not?
Maybe she says I'm not seeing any results.
Okay, so
I use the TCA 20 with the cross method, Fade Bright, and Retinol 30.
Well, you have everything you need. You just need to be patient.
I venture to say, using Supercap.
I venture to say you've probably only done maybe 1 or 2 cross.
Sometimes the pock marks look worse before it looks better too, because if you think about it, you're removing that scar tissue, which when somebody calls and says, oh, it looks worse, that's great. That means that the scar tissue was broke down. Now you need to keep using your Supercut 2X. Consistency is certainly key with working on any sort of scarring.
Yeah, it's 6 to 8 in a row minimum.
Right.
Keep it up and keep a photo diary. Definitely.
That is true. Yes.
Photos.
Okay, so let's see. Kel says I am on the other 30 peel, and I'm definitely hooked on these peels.
Thank you, Kel.
Should I use Retin-A to help peeling, normally to help pigmentation along?
Retin-A to help peeling? Like, I just want to, that even just made me think. Some people are always asking, can I put Retin-A on instead of Dream Peel or Luminosity? And the answer is no, you really shouldn't, because Retin-A is an acid. And when you do a chemical peel, you don't want to put acids on after that. It can cause a lot of irritation and dryness that you don't need on freshly peeled skin. So retinols are okay because they actually don't convert into the acid until they're deep in your skin. So you can put a retinol on after a peel to help it peel more aggressively, but no on the Retin-A.
Okay, so Nina says, can you leave Mandelic 40 on longer each treatment?
Yup. Yeah, I know. I say like 5 minutes, then next time try 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's a mild acid, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. There are people that leave it on for hours. After that point, the pH level is adjusted and it's more like a serum type product. But if you want to put something else on every single day, use like our Serum 15 that has glycolic and mandelic and I want to say it was phytic. So if you want to like a leave-on acid, you can do that and maybe switch to a stronger peel if that's not strong enough for you, like a TCA.
Couple ladies saying hello. Lori says hello.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Jan says she loves the live feed. Oh, good. We're glad you love it. Okay, so Sabrena, can the LED light therapy be used after a peel? And if so, what would you use on the skin after the LED is used?
Yeah, we get that LED question a lot, and my thoughts are, as long as it's not hot or causing heat in the skin, go ahead and use it. We don't carry the LED. I know that the different lights are for different things. You know, there's the red light and the blue light and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're going to use the light and you're going to use it after a peel, obviously you don't want to have anything on your skin. So you've washed your peel off, go ahead and set on your light for however many, 15 minutes or whatever is recommended. And then when you're done, just go ahead and put your healing products on, whether it's Emu Oil or your Luminosity or your Dream Peel, whatever you're doing, just do that after your LED. But yeah, we can't talk too much about that because we don't sell those and we don't deal with those, so I don't want to recommend something wrong.
Okay, cool. Jan says, what would work for acne scars with someone with rosacea and sensitive skin?
Well, if it's a pitted acne scar, I wouldn't worry too much that you have rosacea because you're not going to put,
you're gonna
TCA 30 on your
yeah.
whole face. You're going to just put it in that tiny little spot. So go ahead and do that. Use one of our wooden picks. We sell like a 100 count pack of those, and it has the cotton on it. If you have like a bigger hole, or you can take that off, and then you can be really, really precise.
Okay, so Cal has more questions here. She goes, I have problems with Retinol and I don't use it. I don't know if I use too much. I have similar problems. I use Fade Bright and it's nice and working.
Well, Retinol, it takes a long, long time for your skin to acclimate to that. Some people, it can take like 8 months or more. And if hopefully your prescribing doctor told you not to put it on every single day, start with 1 or 2 days a week, work up to every other day, and then slowly work up to every day, because it's just going to cause. I've used it before in the past, and I could use it one day, and 2 days I'm just like peeling. It's not comfortable. That's why I like to use the retinol. But you can alternate the retinol and the Retin-A too. That's helpful.
All right, Crystal Lynn says, what is the best peel for signs of aging in the jawline? Will a peel help? We kind of touched base on this a little bit.
And then TCA is the #1 peel for anti-aging because it stimulates collagen and elastin in the skin. And I don't make this up. This is proven in studies, which we have on our website. But yeah, that will help. Now, obviously, if it's the underlying muscles loosening, that's a surgical procedure. But the TCA will help. It certainly will. I've seen great pictures just in the guru group about this.
That's it. That's all.
Hey, we've reached the end.
No, I sent you a couple more in your
Oh
Jen's phone.
my gosh.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let me get my phone out. We got a couple more to sneak in here. Hold on.
Got the big fancy phone.
But this was fun. We'll definitely be doing this again.
It was.
And so keep thinking about what your questions are. Okay, so from Gwen, can I use TCA 13 on my neck? Yes, especially if you're using it on your face. Use it on your neck and even onto the décolleté. How about my abs to remove stretch marks? Hands? Yes, you can. You can always use the TCA on the body. Just remember, it's going to take longer to peel. Where the face starts peeling about 3 days, 4 days. The body, it's going to be more along the lines of 10 to 14 days before you start flaking. So just keep that in mind, and then it'll flake for another couple of weeks. And then, so you're saying about every 3 weeks. I'm saying about every 4 weeks, for sure, 4 weeks. This is her 3rd month. First month, she did 2 layers. Second month, 2 layers. Oh, I think we have her question in there already.
I think so.
Yeah,
she was
okay.
the last one. She was the last
That's okay. All right, so then we have one more from Melissa. I want to do at-home peels. I am 62, have sun damage, and not many wrinkles. I have had skin medical peels done years ago. What do you recommend? I mean, even the big brands like that, they're not necessarily a deep peel.
Right.
So if you really want to do some changes in your skin, I always go for the TCA 13. Just start off with 1 or 2 layers. That's your biggest bang for your buck. That is going to be the best anti-aging thing you can do. And then, you know,
You can
retinol.
control it as you go, as you apply, you know, as you're continuing, you apply more layers to achieve a deeper result. So
Oh, yeah.
you can kind of control it, which is nice about
And then you can add like the Dream Peel on and all that kind of stuff to make it stronger and, you know, get that super extra vitamin A. All right. Oh my gosh, we actually did it. We have all the questions answered, even though we got like really detailed, and hopefully you appreciated that.
Yes, we got through them all. I'm so surprised, but you know what? We were quick, and they were great questions. You guys did
Very
awesome.
good. Very common questions. Hey, and I also want you to take a look at our website. Even our little chat box at the bottom, even if we're not there, you can ask a question.
Sure.
And we're creating this really big help center, and we're using questions that you guys send in all the time, and we're answering them. And you can answer a question, and it could like send you right to the article to answer that question. And I'm sure that we'll use a lot of these on that website as well. You'll see that it just says Help Center right on the front page of our website. It'll be on all the pages at some point too, but that's a good source too. So anytime you guys even email us questions, we're turning them into articles because, you know, you're not the only one that has that question.
Right.
You know, a lot of people have that question. And even though we may have answered it, it may have been asked in a slightly different way. So we're going to make sure that, you know, we answer everything for you so you are well educated on your skincare journey that we're helping you with.
Yeah.
Yay, it was fun.
You can always phone us if you can't find your question or you're overwhelmed. That's why we
You
are
probably
here.
talk to her.
You'll probably talk to me.
She's the one that answers
Normally
the phone.
I have a little headset on, and
I do sometimes.
take your orders, answer your questions,
Or
do all those fun
Stacy,
things.
Michelle.
Yes, and you
get
may
a lot
be
of
meeting them
sweeties.
in the future as well.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull them in on a live too. Well,
It's
thank
been
you so
fun.
much. We'll talk to you again soon. We're going to end this.
Bye.
Bye.